Welcome back, traders and investors. We have Harlan Pyan back with All About Trends, and he is going to weigh in on our potential wager in Mickey D's. Harlan, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm thinking McDonald's here. I don't know, you guys.
What did
Hundred
you think
bucks
of
might
yesterday's move, first of all, McDonald's? Like, that was a crazy
huge.
move.
Yeah, weren't their numbers not exactly all that great?
Same store sales from Monday? Because
Yeah.
there wasn't even any news yesterday. This thing was just popping off with them. Looking at the Monday, Brent, are you still there? What were the numbers on Monday? Report a 0.3% drop in global same store sales. Analysts were expecting a 0.1% decline. Yeah, they weren't
Mm,
that great. They were a little bit
yeah.
below estimates. So if
Mm,
you're looking from a fundies perspective, that move was not justified. But holy cow, man, somebody wanted in, and they wanted in a bad way.
yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. So, well, you might want to sell your peanuts while the circus is in town.
So
Once
you're
it's,
taking Joel's
you
side
know,
on this?
well, you know, I don't know. I mean, I see support here, 96, 96 and a half short term since first of the year. Then you got some stuff at 97 and a half. So, I don't know. I guess for me, I'd be looking for other ponds to fish in, per se.
All right, Dennis, I'll go 97.30 versus 99.30 for lunch.
You'll do it? Okay, let's do it.
Okay. All right.
There you go.
97.30 versus 9. We made a bet. We just had to get
There you
that
go.
going.
Yeah,
There we
we
go.
just
We made a
we
bet.
just ticked 98.20, so I got the edge.
Oh, yeah,
Yay!
that's what he does. He looks at that and
Okay, Harlan, what
That's
about
good.
this
latency
market
arbitrage
here?
here. He's
What
closer to
about
the.
the S&Ps? Is it time to hit the panic button here? We had the dreaded triple close up there in the 1878, 1876, three closes in a row. Do you place any significance on that, or what are you using as your indicator up here?
Well, you were sitting at a trend channel resistance. When you line up all your tops off of the November highs, just line up all your tops, and you're closer to a trend channel resistance than you are support. So you're in the zone. 90% of this is getting in the zone, and the other part is 10% just sweating it out while you're in the zone. I'm not going to read into it too much just yet. 3 to 4 days doesn't exactly make a big trend. But let's watch where some support levels are. Around 1855-ish, 57. Somewhere around
How do you
there.
get a support level there? Is it a trend line? Because I see absolutely no support there at all whatsoever.
I'm looking at a daily chart.
There's nothing
I'm looking
there
at the
though.
daily.
There's no. I mean, there's. Was there a close there or an old high? Because I like to use. I mean, I'd like to. I mean, just pointing it out because at 1855 to me, I mean, jumped up from 1843.50. That was a low on March 4th. We kind of just blew through this whole 1850 handle. Is it a retracement number that you're looking at, or I see two?
Well, look at the December and January highs on the S&P. You had that kind of a little pop there, end of the year, and then mid-January, kind of looks like a little double top, and then we sold off to 1740, so then we busted through, and old resistance tends to become new support once broken, is the rule of thumb. So I'm looking at those highs right there. We could come back into that zone. Maybe worst case fill the gap from the Russian situation, and but then you also have the 50-day moving averages at 1828. So you got some support levels below that aren't too far. Maybe a couple of bad days. Maybe you just decide to sit and spin up here and work off the big move from was that 1835-ish, the big slam that we had.
Yeah,
Maybe you come back down there and fill that air pocket. So this could be a trading range up here. I think as far as the indexes, I'm just not really seeing personally. This is where I really want to be. Where are the big trades? That's what we're looking for. Where's the trades with structure? And so for me, I guess it's a tale of two tapes. The indexes, they just kind of sit here and chew you alive. Whereas, individual stocks, they tend to be where all the action is.
What are you looking at from individual stocks here, Harlan? Well, what's got some nice setups here for some of our listeners?
Well, you guys like these lower price ones. let's take a look at HIMX, Google Glass people. On a daily chart, you can kind of see it.
Oh yeah, that's
tried
itching.
to, yeah, tried to break out of a nice big base. Why did it get turned yesterday? Well, the market got turned. 3 out of 4 stocks will trade with the market, to a degree. So that's one. I'm watching that one really close. Another one, lower priced, QTWW.
I got
Quantum
calls on
Fueling.
that thing.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do, but you know what? I'm regretting it actually because I had a call spread going on it, but I'm too high. I think I got the 3 days ago when it started breaking out. I went the 11s and the 12s, and I think I put it on for 15 cents. It's going to go worthless, I think, because it obviously pulled back here with the last couple of days. I liked it on that first when it broke out, but then you had the 2 days here now, and now everybody's jumped, and the open interest shot way up, and I'm not in love with it. Now it'll probably go after the expiration there next week.
Well, you can see that it kind of pretty much broke out of a base, give or take right around 9. But, now, the last 3 days, line up your tops. This could be, fresh breakout, and it's pulling back off its highs. So, I'd at least keep an eye on it. I don't know how anything with the word power or fuel
Yeah.
is going to trade from here on out.
That didn't help it yesterday. That did not help it yesterday. Just having the name fuel in it probably didn't help it.
It's like I said. I mean, we talked last week about power cell, fuel cell, Ballard, all of that.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you. I mean, you got to sell your peanuts when the circus is in town. So so that's why I never chase stocks.
For another lower price stock here, how about RF? MD, are they involved in a merger, or is it? Am I getting
RF
that?
micro devices? I don't know.
Do you
Sure.
follow that stock at all? I mean, we got a nice double bottom here, 719, 720, trying to hold that level. You follow that issue at all?
No, can't say I do. But you can see it gapped up at 6.5, ran up to like 7.5, and now it's starting to pull back, and it's starting to digest that gain.
They're doing.
When do you look to get in, like on something like this, Harlan? Like obviously, maybe not on this stock particularly, but just using it as an example, are you looking like for a 50% pullback on the move, a pullback to the moving average? Because I know you love to buy those pullbacks. When would you be interested in this? Like how far would it need to pull back to spur your interest?
Well, let's say the market pulls back. Let's say the market pulls back to support levels, 50-day moving averages. It's ugly out there, face of fear type thing. And then you start to see the indexes stabilize, and then all of a sudden the indexes start to take off again. All right. Then I want to look at what are my names doing. Are they following through with the market? Are they triggering? Are they breaking out of pullback off high patterns? That also comes into play too. But there's really no set, because a stock can build out for as long as it wants. I'm not one to go tell a stock what it's supposed to do. My job is to watch what it actually is doing and live in reality of what is versus what we think it is. If that makes any sense.
Hey, is there any, okay, so if the market's coming off here and you don't have many major buys on your radar, is there any setups on the short side that you're looking at?
The funny thing is, I'm seeing a lot more on the long side. I see a lot of names, a lot of market leaders that this is why I say it's a tale of two tapes. The indexes are doing their thing, but there's a lot of market leaders off this recent run that are pulling back off their highs, and they're pulling back to support levels, 50 days, whatever. I mean, take a look at data, DATA. Hit a peak of 102.5, and it's been pulling back off its highs in an orderly manner.
Do you like that whole 90 level, or are you looking to pick a bottom in this 90 area? Because we obviously bottomed there 2 days ago, 89.46 and 90.02 yesterday. There, it's holding up. Well, it hasn't really traded at all here in the pre-market, but are you looking at playing it off this 90 area?
I do like that it's trying to stabilize down in this 90 at the last 3 days. But, there's also that gap low, 87.5. And then the 50-day isn't far behind. So that's a good-looking name. If it crosses over to the upside, you take the trade, and one of three things are going to happen. It's either going to work, you're going to wash, or you're going to get stopped out. So that's one. Another one, let me find it here. Leaf, Spring Leaf Holdings,
What's
Just
the
broke out at
what's the symbol?
LEAF.
Okay.
So that one doesn't look too shabby either. And, support's right around 25.86. It's pulling back off its highs. Support levels do define your risk. And you can have stocks that, pull back to support levels, and then they just take right off again. Green Mountain Coffee, I still like that. We're long at like 111. Obviously, it sold off to us. But it's been pulling back off its highs too. A couple other
It looked like
names.
it was trying yesterday, though, GMCR, probably before the broad market hit everything. I always like using, when you see a big macro sell-off like that or a big broad-based sell-off, and you see which stocks were the leaders before the sell-off, sometimes those will become the leaders when the market turns again. This one obviously was trying yesterday before the overall market hit it. So I kind of like that setup, too. Maybe if that GMCR holds above that whole 103 area or something, maybe that's, not a bad play, too.
Yeah, as long as it's above the 50-day, I'm happy with it. I'm fine with it. Stocks do fluctuate, and I allow for that. Nobody's perfect. Nobody ever hit 18 holes in one. Nobody ever will. A couple other names are, how about, seeing as how bios are all over the place, how about BIB? There's the Ultra NASDAQ Biotech ETF.
BIB, $96. Did that split? That must have split there like a month ago, month and a half ago.
There's a few of them out there.
Yeah.
How about
Yeah,
how about ORLL? Is that something you follow at all? Rockin' Hilly is chirping in on that one. Just see if we can get any technical setup in that.
You sure that's a symbol? ORLL?
I don't have it either, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe my eyes are bad.
Well, move off on that one. ORLY maybe means
Yeah.
O'Reilly
O'Reilly?
Automotive. O'Reilly Automotive, the auto parts
O'Reilly
maker.
Auto Parts. Ooh, look at the setup in that thing. Holy mackerel.
Yeah, see, it's pulling back off its highs.
Oh, man. Now, see,
So
Dennis, how am I going to look at that chart, Dennis? What am I going to tell you looking at that chart?
you're looking for the breakdown on it. Joel always likes to see 4 or 5 lows in the same area, and then he likes to see it cut through that area and flush everybody out that was leaning on the area. So he's looking at it as if it trades through that whole 149 area, he's seeing this thing trade down to possibly 145, 146. How'd I do, Joel?
Excellent. You're hired.
Yep.
Okay.
I agree.
Harlan, any closing thoughts here just on the market in general here? S&P's continuing to sell off. You sound like you're not really biting on the sell-off here. Instead, you're just looking for things to purchase, which has definitely been the way to go.
Well, that's what I'm looking for. We pretty much plan our trades and trade our plan. And, for us, I'm looking for names that are in clearly defined uptrends above the 50-day moving average that are pulling back off their highs. It's really as simple as that. You take a look and, I try not to chase stocks. I'd rather buy them as they're pulling back to support so I don't get, sucked into, a name that goes ballistic. And the next thing you know, one day comes along, wipes out 3-4 days worth of gains. So, even keel. I'm looking for the stuff like Palo Alto. So that's kind of the stuff that I'm looking for. When I see them, you trade what you see, and that's pretty much the best anyone can actually do.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, Harlan, and we look forward to having you on again next week.
You bet, guys. I'm watching McDonald's all day today.
Okay.
For the bet, we'll see. Joel,
I'll
take
see
me
you
out
guys
for
I'm
a
getting
McDonald's
hungry, man.
meal.
I'm going to get rid of that lunch. I'm going to take you out for the steak dinner on Thursday, and then we're going to be
See you later.
fine. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
See you, Harlan.